Hi, I'm going to do a quick little video here, instruction tutorial on a little exercise that I give my students that I like for a couple different reasons. It helps both with practicing freehand straight lines, and it also helps practicing with just dividing up a line or something into relatively equal parts. Something you're sort of going to be doing all the time. And I'm also going to briefly try to talk about how this exercise relates to drawing an ellipse. So let's see, I'm going to jump right in. It's a little exercise that my friend Doug Johnson introduced to me in 6th grade. Bless his heart. But it's mostly about having fun making curves with straight lines. And this may be something you're very familiar with, but maybe not. Either way, it's great practice. So I'm going to split a horizontal up into 4 points and a vertical. And then I'm going to take my top one here and I'm going to connect it with the furthest point out here. I'm going to use my patent pending 3-step straight line freehand drawing approach where I point to the make a mark pointing to the where I'm aiming, and then I go to where I was originally aiming and do the same thing in reverse. It just starts really giving me a feel for what the heck this angle is, and then I draw in a little bit a helper, a little middle part too, that helps me just sort of fix the angle a little bit. That one was a little bit messier than normal, but oh well. That's why we exercise. I didn't sort of keep explaining which dot goes to which, but hopefully you can see it's just a sequence. This one goes to this, and then the next one will go to the next one, and the next one to the next one, the next one to the next one. And what it does is it creates the shape that is very similar to the arc of an ellipse, 1/4 of an ellipse. And luckily each quarter is based on the same arc. I'm just going to do a few more of the exercises and maybe try to do an ellipse if I'm feeling brave. So doing it in different orientations too. This is a tricky one. That means it's a good opportunity for me to practice. Let's see, how about one that's a little bit more circular, an arc that would be a little bit closer to that of what a circle would be. Same idea. Splitting things. I think I'll do this one first. And the next one to the next one. This one to this one. So once again, I've sort of created this arc that is going to help me to sort of understand how the the arc of an ellipse will generally behave. So let me see if I can pull something off here. Several ways to work on drawing ellipses. That's a different video, but I do like this exercise because it kind of relates. I'm just going to make a rectangle here and divide it in half that way and in half that way, just eyeballing it. I'm not doing my crisscross thing, but it's good practice to do this as well. So basically this is a blown up section of one of these right here. So I'll split this up like the exercise, and so you'll see kind of how it relates. So this has a fancy math term that I'm not really confident about, but I think it's related to parabolic curves. But it gives me a decent idea of what the curve of the arc for any given ellipse is going to change. It's not an exact dot-to-dot sort of thing, but it gives me a pretty good understanding. I could certainly do the same thing down here, and as far as the exercise, and it looks like I probably should. But the same thing would be for over here. Let's see if I can change up my grip to help. My hand was just sort of floating out there in free space a little too much. Needed some sort of stabilizing assistance. So I shifted to this hold. My knuckles are making a nice mess. Rubbing color around, but pencil around. But that arc right there is something that this little exercise really helps you sort of start getting your head around. And when you are practicing how to draw ellipses, anything is sort of a big help. So check out that exercise. I think it was this one. And do it for 10,000 hours. There you go.